How's it going, guys? Welcome to another Nintendo Switch Online news video. Today we're going to take a look at the NES games that were announced for the Switch and Switch 2. They're coming to Nintendo Switch Online, available today. Why am I saying they're coming? They're already available. Anyway, let's watch the video. Hey! So this is for April 9th. So basically yesterday. So we got 3 NES games. We got Pac-Man. Reminds me of, I remember the last time I was streaming Pac-Man, it was on the Game Boy Advance. I don't think I have the game in this room. No, I don't, unless it's hiding in plain sight. But anyway, yeah, I had like 4 games, and I'm going to stop looking for it. And this one, I believe, was on there. Or at least it looks very similar. And then there was another Pac-Man game I played on stream. Pac-Man Remix, I believe it was the name. That's actually a pretty good game, and that's only like available for a couple bucks, at least on Steam. I think it's also on the Switch as well, but I could be wrong. It's not like it's a very cheap game. And if you run it for even cheaper, get it when it's on sale. Now, I do like Pac-Man, but it's not a game that I could see myself playing, like, hours on end. But it's still, it's an okay game. Now we have Mindel Palace. I don't know how that's pronounced. I'm not sure I've heard of that. I'm not sure I've heard of this game before. I don't recall hearing about this game. Actually, at first I was going to call it Mental. Then we have Dulaga. The Tower of Dulaga. I almost wanted to call it Dracula. What does this remind me of? Like, it was an AVGN episode. Not Little Red Riding Hood, but Little Red Hood. And highlight a little bit. Well, at that point, you could also, at that point, you may as well just say the original Legend of Zelda. Yeah, not so much that. I mean, maybe a little, but... Because you have the 3D, I wouldn't really even call this 3D, but, you know, back in the 80s, you know, the original Legend of Zelda, which I didn't think I would bring up this much, or really at all in the video, but, you know, back then, that might have been considered 3D. Nowadays, that's not really 3D. That's like saying the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games are in 3D. Well, there is Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, but anyway. And the HD version. And the remake. But might be a 3D environment. But alright, so these are available now. Sorry I went on a side rant. Okay, got Bandai Namco, Game Freak. I think someone pointed out in the comments somewhere on here that Game Freak developed that game. But it's got, all of these were copyrighted by Bandai Namco. Which back then was just, yeah, there was Bandai and Namco. And now it's Bandai Namco. Okay, yeah, so available now. Anyway, not a super exciting video, I apologize for that, but it's still something. I've been doing Nintendo Switch Online videos for this long. I figured I may as well continue. I even do that with Nintendo Music. There's times I don't cover every single soundtrack, though. Maybe I should, but I cover the ones that I'm more interested in. Nintendo Switch Online, I pretty much just cover everything. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.